Hey all, good morning and welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, as we look at the market this morning, it seems like we are almost ready to go positive. Let's look at S&P 500, the chart that you see here. This is a 2-minute chart, which shows you very clearly how close all the exponential moving averages are. This red one out here is the 200-day exponential moving average. And the yellow one is the 50-day moving average, and the lavender color, the line that you see out here where my cursor is moving around, happens to be the 100-day exponential. So on the top, you have the 200-day providing resistance, and on the bottom, you have the 100-day and the 50-day exponential moving averages providing support. Now, let us go into the 1-day time frame to get a broader perspective. And as you can see, we have support. Let me just change the colors of these trend lines out here to indicate what they actually are. So we have support. Yeah, on Friday, we had a huge spike. And I'm betting that today we start off negative, and then in the later half of the day, maybe we could turn around and become positive. But we have a very heavy support at 6,933.75. That's the confluence of this diagonal line of support as well as the horizontal line of support. We have dipped below this in the morning and then come back up again. And right now, we are just bouncing on top of this. Maybe when the market opens, we could come all the way close to this and then bounce back up again. So breaking this particular support is the biggest challenge from a bearish point of view. From a bullish point of view, it's the greatest optimism that there is a very strong support out here, and therefore the chances of falling below that is very low. And even if you did, you have the 50-day exponential at 6,905.49 providing support. So that's the way I look at it. When I look at the other parts of the indicator, like if you look at the market sentiment, it's totally bearish, MACD is bearish, and momentum is just at average. So when the market opens, we will get an idea of what's happening. We'll also get an idea of what is happening when we look at QQQ. So let's go and check out NASDAQ futures first. NASDAQ futures is down 0.31% as we speak. And it had been getting a lot of support at 25,090, which happens to be the 100-day exponential moving average. But just now we have dipped a few points below that. So it's very crucial for NASDAQ to open above the 100-day exponential moving average in order to have some kind of a positive outlook, or else the 100-day exponential becomes a resistance. And that's not going to be looking great, given that the momentum is below average, MACD is bearish, and also market sentiment is bearish. You look at the dollar index, the dollar has started falling back down again. Now, there is a whole lot of things happening in Japan that we in North America do not look at as much, but the fact remains that the government, the existing government won a resounding election, it seems, and therefore they have much more leeway on how they can manage their finances, and that means both monetary and fiscal policy, and that kind of reflects in our dollar index out here, and also in the way the VIX is elevated 3.6%. It has managed to stay above support of 18.16. I'm just going to mark this as green, and also this diagonal line will be marked as green because both of them are acting as supports. And if you look at gold, gold is also trying to go above the psychological mark of 5,000. It has stayed above 5,000 for most of the morning session. When the market opens, we'll get an idea whether it's going to cement this and confirm this support with the next candle tomorrow. Now, that said, let us look at the 10-year yields for the US 10-year bonds. It is on the way up. And if you recollect, earlier we had put a target of 4.387. That was based on a bull flag. Now, that bull flag got demolished because we fell below 50% after breaking out on the top. So at this point of time, I have not experienced this kind of a situation before. So I'm not going to assume the bull flag is still active. So I will just put this as a support out here, this diagonal line of support, in conjunction with the 200-day exponential moving average, which is this thick red line. Together, they will provide a lot of support to the 10-year yields, keeping them elevated. I'm going to remove the target that we have out here. I'm going to knock that out. This is a fresh segment, in my opinion, so we'll have to see how it proceeds further. Now, Japanese 10-year yields are also spiking up. And then if you look at the USD JPY combination, it's moving in the wrong direction. Whenever USD JPY goes down, the market goes down. Whenever USD JPY goes up, the market goes up, assuming that the differentials between the 10-year yield for US and Japanese bonds are maintained. So I'm thinking that there is a negative bias this morning for the stock market from the Japanese angle. Now let's look at the AI stocks, and let us start off with NVDA. Trends on Friday, I shorted NVIDIA. My rationale was that it has gone up 7.87%. So it's going to have a little bit of profit taking. So it will drop before it goes up further. And I was looking at the 184.40 resistance. And I was thinking that probably we'll come below that. And we'll have to negotiate that again in the first trading day of the week, which happens to be today. So far, NVIDIA is down 0.60%. It's moving in the direction that I was thinking it would. My NVDA is in profit, and I would probably take profits this morning. I already placed an order in the pre-market, but my price target has not been achieved, so it's still sitting as unexecuted. Google is down 0.16% in pre-market trades. It will get support at 318.42, which happens to be the 50-day exponential moving average. Resistance is available at 334.15. Then we look at Meta, which is up 0.23% in pre-market trades. It's getting a lot of support from the 100-day exponential, which is at 662.45. But it also is getting resistance from 664.55, which happens to be the 200-day exponential moving average. To sandwich between the two of them, and when the market opens, we'll get an idea whether this positivity can be sustained, because the main fear happens to be that AI is overinvested and maybe the returns may not be as good, and Meta being an AI player, it will definitely have an impact on Meta. Microsoft is up 1.09. This is a very beaten up stock. I have dollar cost averaged on it, and I'm thinking that our support, which happens to be at 399.10, which is where we ended the previous session, seems to be pretty good at this point of time. And if we manage to close above 408.71 today, then the support will be validated and confirmed. And next time we come to this, we can be assured that the chances of bouncing up is way higher than chances of breaking down. Also, you can see that market sentiment is extremely bearish. MACD is bearish, and momentum is below the 30% mark. We had a little bit of a dead cat bounce on Friday, but today, pre-market, we are already up. So I think that the bottom fishing will definitely get started, especially when other bigger names in the pack are much higher than Microsoft, and Microsoft has lost way more than the others. I'm expecting this positive rebound to continue for Microsoft. One way to play the rebound is using MSFX. MSFX can give 2x gains on Microsoft price. Let us look at Amazon, which is up 0.23% in pre-market trade. It's definitely getting a lot of resistance at 211.67. And if it breaks above that, then we should look at confirmation. But right now, the resistance is not confirmed. So I'm optimistic that we may be able to break out on the upside, especially given that pre-market we are up 0.21%. However, when I look at their earnings where they miss the EPS, that's a big problem. The other problem is market sentiment is very bearish. MACD is also very bearish. And momentum is below 30% on the RSI scale. So I think overall the chart is looking weak. There's a little bit of optimism in pre-market trade, but I don't know if it can last. Now let us look at AMD. AMD is down 0.21% in pre-market trade. I have bought AMZN with the opinion that having gained 8.28% in a single session, it's likely to come back down a little bit before going up again. AMZN is now in profit in my portfolio. I already put a sale order in pre-market, but my price target has not reached, so it is still sitting in the unexecuted state. Hopefully, I'll be able to get some traction out there. With that said, I'm looking for Apple. Let us go to Tesla. Sorry, I'm looking at Tesla. Tesla is up 0.25%. And it's going to get some support today at 407.24, which is the diagonal line of support. We did some kind of a trend reversal out here, and we bounced back up. And pre-market, we are up 0.29%. However, overall, all the other market indicators are negative for Tesla. And we have this head and shoulder pattern, which gives us a target of 366.45. I'm expecting that at the very least, we should come to 370.05. So that's what I'm expecting from Tesla. Oracle is up 5.00%. Finally, a good bounce for Oracle after having lost significant value. I'm just putting the green lines out here to convert the resistance into support. And for today, our resistance for Oracle is going to be at 150.39. We are at 150.14 in pre-market trades. And it's basically some analysts maintaining their share price target for Oracle at $180. I think that's the catalyst. I don't see anything else out here. Next, let us look at SNCI, which is down 1.22% in pre-market trade. It will get support from 32.89, which is the 100-day exponential moving average. And it will get resistance at 36.35, which happens to be the 100-day exponential moving average. Now, let us go ahead and have a look at Palantir. Palantir is up 1.53% in pre-market trades. We had a target for Palantir of 134.64. We already met that target. And Friday was more or less an indecision candle, almost a doji candle. So today, I think our resistance is going to start at 139.75. If we break through from that, the next resistance is 144.68. And support is definitely going to be at 130.05. With that said, let us look at the other stocks that I want to check out here. Just give me 1 second while I identify them. I have to rejig this. It's all over the place. Okay, let's go on to Genomics. And in Genomics, I'm looking at Pfizer, which is down 0.07%. It's a very, very slow trek towards 28.19, which is a cup and handle target for us. But I'm waiting for it. We have extinguished the topping tail candle out here. This was a very bearish red candle. This was dangerous, but we have overcome that. We are closed above that. So I'm feeling a little bit optimistic that we may probably consolidate and then start moving up towards a target of 28.19. Next, let us look at Prime. Prime is down 0.56% in pre-market trade. Resistance is definitely going to be there at 3.85. We have Intelia down 0.16% in pre-market trade. It should get some support at 12.13, which happens to be, 12.15, which happens to be the 100-day exponential moving average. At the very least, it should get support at 11.83. And it will definitely have a resistance somewhere around 12.32. Right now, it's at 12.26 in pre-market trades, down 0.16%. Caribou Biosciences is flat in pre-market trades, and it will get resistance at 1.67, which is the 50-day exponential moving average, and it will get support at 1.50, which is the horizontal line of support out here. I'm going to mark that as a support because on Friday, we jumped over it and converted that into a support, but it's an unconfirmed support right now. Sorry, it's still a confirmed support. It was an unconfirmed resistance on Friday. Let's go on to Beam. Beam is down 0.57% in pre-market trades, and 26.30 is giving a valiant support as a 100-day exponential moving average. Right now in pre-market, we are down 0.57%. We are at 26.37, just 7 cents above the 100-day exponential moving average. Altimmune is up 1.64% in pre-market trades. I'm waiting for it to break out of this bullish pennant. But if it keeps coming down and if it doesn't break out very soon, we'll have a situation where it would have fallen below 50% of the flagpole. And if that happens, then I generally don't look at it as a bullish symbol. I see more of a bearish trend or a lack of a trend depending on how the candles turn out after they breach the 50% mark on the flagpole. So I'm cautiously optimistic for Altimmune. Let us look at Editas, which is down 1.65% in pre-market trades. The diagonal line of support, which was at 1.89, now becomes a resistance, and it became a resistance in yesterday's trading. And let us look at Illumina. Illumina is up 0.46%. Right now, I think Illumina is starting to look very weak. The earnings are over. The earnings came out pretty well, in my opinion. Despite that, it has been more of a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event. So I think there's a good opportunity to buy Illumina on the cheap and wait for it to bounce back. There's a gap fill to happen out here for a gap up. That's what gives me a little bit of a pause when looked in conjunction with the absolutely bearish market sentiment, and MACD also bearish, and momentum below average. There could be a little bit of a dead cat bounce, which is what we are probably seeing today. JP Morgan is maintaining Illumina as neutral at this point of time. So future opportunities are definitely there. I'll be cautiously optimistic about this. It'll get some support at the 200-day exponential at 117.48. Next, let us look at CRISPR Therapeutics, which is up 1.54%, but still below my purchase price. I'm waiting for it to get back into the zone where I thought it would trade. It's moving in the right direction right now, and I would say a little bit of a support initially at 48.85 and then at 48.78. Right now we're at 49.49, up 1.54% from the previous close. I would see that there's a resistance at 50.21. And let's go on and have a look at grain. Grain is up 0.76% in pre-market trades. It's exactly on top of the resistance at 100.45. Right now we're at 100.83. So the diagonal line of resistance is acting as a support right now. Again, all the indicators are looking pretty weak. Let us see how it turns out during the day. PACB is flat in pre-market trades. It's going to get a lot of resistance from the 200-day exponential at 1.82. Right now, pre-market, it's at 1.82, and it could get some support from the diagonal line of support, which happens to be at around, I would say, 1.79 this morning, and it also has subsequent resistance at 1.85. ARCG is up 0.35% in pre-market trades. It's going to get some resistance at 29.17. Vertex is down 0.42% in pre-market trade. The diagonal line of resistance will continue to give resistance at 480.49 this morning, and we should get some amount of support at 464. Let me open this up. 463.60. Pre-market, we are at 475.92. That is down 0.42%. But generally, it's a pretty good company. It should be decent. Should probably consolidate today, in my opinion. Ginkgo Bioworks is down 0.69% in pre-market trades. And it's going to get some support at 9.91, which happens to be the 100-day exponential moving average. And if you look at Unicure, let's go on to Precision. Precision is down 0.93% in pre-market trades. It's definitely having a lot of resistance at 4.29. Pre-market is at 4.25, down 0.93%. And the 100-day exponential at 3.94 will give it support. Next, let us look at Eli Lilly, which is up 2.06%. It's going to get a lot of resistance at 1,007.56, and it's going to get some support at 1,065.67. Overall, all the indicators are bearish for Eli Lilly, and it's trying to buck the trend. We have dividend earnings also coming up, 1.73 for dividend, and dividends are due on 13th of February. Maybe that could move the needle a little bit. Let us look at Ultragenics, which has no trades pre-market. It's above this flagpole, above the bull flag. I'm hoping that it will consolidate and start breaking out on the upside. And for today, I would say support is available at 24.48. And I'm going to look at Rocket briefly. Rocket is up 0.58% in pre-market trades, but 19.07 will be a resistance today, which happens to be a 100-day exponential. United Health is continuing to move downwards. It's down 0.18% in pre-market trades. Friends, we have a target, which is really a bad target for United Health, which is at 221.49. and we have intermediate support at 268.89. So let's see how this goes. And for today, the resistance is going to be at 281.01. And I'm looking at team. Team is up 0.22% in pre-market trades. We have met our target of 94.90. I'm looking at new candles formation out here in order to get an idea of which direction we are going to move from here. Earnings came out pretty well on Thursday, and despite the earnings, we have not seen much of a bounce. Market sentiment is very bearish. MACD is absolutely bearish. Momentum is way low. So today, I think we should definitely see a dead cat bounce, some attempt to form a base. So with that, my friends, I would like to go to currencies and have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is down 1.72% in pre-market trade. As I mentioned before, I have a target of 55,530.99. And we definitely have a support at 54,904. So those are the support levels. And I think we will have a resistance at, let me just mark the resistance out here. It will be at 72,994.58. That's going to be the resistance for today. Everything is looking bearish for Bitcoin. I would like to pick some closer to 53,000 or 54,000, and I would keep it for a while. It will be a swing trade position because I think lots of gains could be made if we buy at around that level. Again, personal opinion, not financial advice. MSTR is down 4.01% in pre-market trades. Going bearish on MSTR, it's a very risky proposition, but the rewards can be very rich. I tried it once and I lost a lot of money, so I'm not trying it again. So friends, with that, I'd like to finish this live stream session. And I hope you have a great week ahead, and I'll catch up with you again very soon. Bye for now.